Donald Trump is holding a rally at my school on Saturday, and, I think I'm gonna go to it. Now, anyone that knows me personally knows that I am a piece of straight liberal trash. That is very much true. And yeah, with Election Day closing in, with, everything revolving around Project 2025, and of course, Roe v. Wade being overturned a few years ago, yeah, this is a pretty important election. There's a lot riding on this one, and this is going to be my first presidential election. I did vote in 2022, but that was with a mail-in ballot, but this year, I'm showing up in person, voting blue, doing my part. But you could imagine my surprise when I found out just a few days ago that Donald Trump was holding a rally at my school, Penn State, a very liberal college, as I'm sure most other colleges are. And as soon as I heard that he was coming to Penn State, I was like, dude, I'm going, count me in. You know, same type of deal if Kamala Harris was holding a rally at Penn State. You know, I'm gonna go because I've never been to a presidential rally before. I'm really interested in going just to see how it all works, and of course, social media is talking about how Trump and his MAGA movement is slowly dying. He doesn't have nearly enough energy. I just want to go to see for myself because on both sides of the spectrum, the media like to lie. So in preparation for this, I took to Reddit and asked what I should watch out for, being a liberal person going into a sort of hub of MAGA people. And the replies I've received range from don't go at all, to go but don't interview anyone, to interview someone as an undercover MAGA. Clearly, there is some conflict here. Even now, recording this introduction a few days before the rally, I really don't know what the point of this video is, or really what it's going to contain. The only thing I know for a fact is that I want to make this video simple because Election Day is close and I want this video out before Election Day. Right now, I'm of the opinion that what I should do is just show up and see what happens. Basically, people are warning me that I could get hurt during this whole thing. Now, do I think all these Trumpeteers are going to hurt me if they know that I'm not one of them, so to speak? Honestly, not really. I don't think that they would really attack me for just showing up. But just to err on the safe side, look, I mean, at this point in the country, in my opinion, there's no such thing as an undecided voter, so to speak. Everyone who is voting at this point knows who they're voting for. If me interviewing people would change opinions, then I would feel more obligated to do it, but for right now, I'm of the opinion that as long as I sit back, stay neutral, don't interact with anyone unless I'm interacted with, I think that would probably be the best case scenario. And I know that wouldn't make for a very interesting video, but for right now, that's just my opinion. The only thing on my mind is to just show up and see how it all goes. This is liberal trash infiltrating a Trump rally. And sorry in advance for getting political on the channel. So, let's go ahead. Let's get into it. There's big and beautiful Beaver Stadium, and across from that, it's not rally day quite yet. That's gonna be tomorrow, but there it is, the calm before the storm. I can't imagine that there's anything going on here quite yet, like over 24 hours before the event, but we're gonna go scope it out real quick. There it is. I believe the doors are going to open at noon tomorrow, and Trump is going to speak here at 4 p.m. There is a student protest happening, and they're going to march here at 2:30 p.m. Don't think I'll be able to capture that on camera at all, but yeah, this is where it is all going to happen tomorrow. I'm still not exactly sure how the whole thing is going to be set up, and yeah, I got to be getting to class. Think about what all's going to go down here tomorrow. All right, everyone. Well, today is officially the day of the Trump rally. It is around 10:40 a.m. And am I ready? No, not really. In all honesty, I am pretty nervous going in. But the first thing I had to think of was my dress for the day. And if you guys know me, I wear tie-dye shirts every day along with a blue hat, and the blue hat has no political association with it whatsoever, but in comparison to the red MAGA hats and the liberal stereotype of wearing tie-dyes, you know, the hippie culture and everything, it's probably best to not wear either of those things. So what I have instead is just, this is actually my girlfriend's shirt, ironically enough, but I just have a Penn State shirt, gray, black pants. Gonna be wearing these sunglasses to mask my identity a little bit just in case. And initially I was gonna go without a hat, but I was visiting my mom yesterday and she's conservative, I'm liberal, you know, we both know this. So she jokingly asked me if I was going to the rally, and whenever I said yes, she was like, really? And I was like, yeah, I just wanna, you know, see how it all goes, see how many people are gonna show up, that whole thing. And by the end of the conversation, she handed me something. She handed me this. And she was like, I think you should blend in. And I was like, damn it, Mom. I guess I'm gonna have to, since I have one. According to my dad, who is actually working overtime at the university today, at around 9 o'clock, there are already people there at the Bryce Jordan Center. I have no idea how many are there now or how many were there at 9 a.m. But I came here, I showered, I'm just about ready to go, actually. We can go ahead and get into the thick of it, so let's head on out. Where do you lean, I should ask?
I consider myself a moderate.
There you go.
I am a registered Democrat, but I spent the majority of my adult life as an independent. But I have voted both ways. Morbid curiosity, I drove past the Bryce Jordan Center, but there was evidence flung much further than that of the occupation of Penn State campus this morning.
A lot of that, would you say?
A lot of that, sadly. I mean, there's some old ladies in bedazzled MAGA hats out there. There, busloads of people, probably because they can't get enough local interest.
What's your advice to me? Because I'm about to go out. It's what, like 11:30 right now?
It is 11:33.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah, it's about that time.
Rally day. I think reason gets checked at the door at events like this, and I'm not just saying that. I would say it if it were a Democratic rally as well. Rallies to me are just silly.
Yeah, I think they're a little silly too. I think any political worship is a little.
13 days out from the election, people know who they're voting for. I mean, you're not changing anybody's mind up here, at least not for your cause.
Yeah.
I mean, I have some confidence in the longer he rambles, maybe someone will walk out of there shaking their head saying, yeah, what was I thinking? But who knows? Yeah. Whatever. We all get a vote, and there's a reason for that. Yeah,
do you think the capacity of the Bryce Jordan Center would be filled? Or is it like 15,000?
Yeah, 15, 16. They'll get that easy.
You think so?
Yeah, like I said, they bust some people in.
Oh, well. All right, well, thanks, I guess. Handshake.
Good luck.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. Gonna don my MAGA hat.
Yeah, don't get beaten.
I'll try not to. So, yeah, it's going to be quite an interesting endeavor today. All the roads here are pretty much closed off. I have the MAGA hat on, unfortunately. I want to go on the record to say that I don't enjoy wearing this. It's simply for blending, but I'm gonna spend a ton of time here just standing around waiting for something to happen. Yeah, this is just bizarre up here to see the lack of cars, because this is right next to Beaver Stadium. This is where I park every day for school, and there is a football game today, but not here, obviously, although I did hear that next week Trump plans on attending the Ohio State game, and that's taking place right here. So that's gonna be a real pain in the ass for like everyone coming in. Approaching this, I feel like Indiana Jones in Last Crusade. Pilgrims in an unholy land, man. There it is. I see all the red hats, American flags, people moving on in. Here it is, the Bryce Jordan Center. That's where all the people are. So I'm gonna go ahead, take a quick walk around the building. You got cop cars, ambulance, university police, everyone is here. Yeah, here it is. This is the storm, so to speak. All right, hey y'all, editing Ian here. Pretty much gonna stick around for the remainder of the video just to provide some context here and there. So first, I had interview questions ready, and I stood outside for probably around 20 to 30 minutes asking people if they wanted to come up and get an interview for the YouTube channel. and I only got one group of people to bite, and the two guys that I interviewed were not even voting age. And the wind was really howling, messing with the audio, so I decided to exclude them from the final cut. And after a little while longer of no more bites for interviews, I decided to just give up and get in line for the rally. So I actually just skipped a lot of the line because I'm a student, so I just had to show my ID. But there we go. There's all the people down there. That's general admission down there. I thought it was up here, but I guess not. Let's head on in. All right, so I made it past security and everything, so that's all square. Currently in the building. I don't think I'm gonna get any interviews in here. Might resort to the original idea of just sitting back, seeing what happens. They said that there's no assigned seating or something. It's all open seating. And I will go on record to say that I have absolutely no idea where any good seats would be at, quote unquote. So maybe down that way because that line's short, but yeah, we'll see. This is everyone that's here right now. Everyone that's here. Officially seated in the rally now. I got somewhat decent view, I think. Take it from here because we still got a little while left, a few hours before anything starts to happen, so we'll see.
We're going to go to paper ballots. We're going to have same-day voting, voter ID. We're going to do it properly. We're going to have good, secure, beautiful elections. We never want what happened in 2020 to happen again. But until then, Republicans must win. And we must use every appropriate tool available to beat the Democrats. They are destroying our country. Whether you vote early, absentee, by mail, or in person, we are going to protect the vote. That's the most important thing we have to do, is protect the vote. Keep your eyes open because these people want to cheat, and they do cheat. And frankly, it's the only thing they do well. We will make sure your ballot is secure and your voice is heard. Many Republicans like to vote on Election Day, and we must swamp the radical Democrats with massive turnout on Tuesday, November 5th. The way you win is to swamp them. If we swamp them, they can't cheat. It just doesn't work out. But if you can't make it, you need to make a plan, register, and vote any way possible. We got to get your vote. So with your vote, we will win a victory the likes of which no one has ever seen before. We will evict crooked Joe Biden from the White House, and we will take back our country on November 5th, 2024, the most important day in the history of our country. That's what it's going to go down as. Thank you.
All right, now we enter the waiting period of the rally, which is where I'm going to start to interject a little bit more. So during the wait, we got people filing in, including this kid wearing a red Trump flag. Here's one of the slides depicting Trump's Force 47 plan. Here's some signs being handed out to the crowd, which I politely declined. And this was the size of the rally at around 2 p.m., 3 hours before Trump was scheduled to take the stage. And during this time, those slides like the Force 47 one were going, but every now and then they would play these hype videos for the Trump campaign, and this one I captured is particularly weird and kind of funny whenever you watch it because it paints Trump as a victim and true American warrior.
I've been down, counted out, smiling through the taste of blood in my own mouth.
Yeah, you get the point. And this video is already going to get a copyright strike because of Trump's entrance music, so I might as well show this clip of everyone dancing along to this country song about loving the red, white, and blue.
It's gonna be hell when you hear Mother Freedom start a rebel, and it'll feel like the whole wide world is raining down on you. Proxy, cursing, a red, white, and blue.
And during this wait period, they had a bunch of music playing, and they played a Bruce Springsteen song, and the very vocal MAGA guy sitting right to the left of me got mad, and he's like, why are they playing Springsteen? Don't they know that he officially endorsed Kamala Harris? But anyways, we're about to get into the guest speakers now, and for all of these speeches, most of them I recorded at least a little part of, so I'm gonna be including the highlights in this video, but as you can imagine, a lot of it is just the same points over and over again. So, let's just hurry up and get into it.
We will grow up the sick political class that hates our country. We will rout the fake news media, and we will liberate America from these villains once and for all.
To open us in prayer, please welcome Pastor at Nittany Baptist Church, Jody Reese.
I want to welcome all of you to the very epicenter of the most critical battleground state in this election. We'll soon be happy, very, very soon. Now, Kamala has no place for Jesus in her smaller rallies. So let me tell you a little secret. Several months ago, Josh Sherman and I spoke about getting Trump here, laying the groundwork for this event. We set to work and pray for this to happen. We see it being realized today before our very eyes. The Lord Jesus has brought Donald Trump in the house. Right before I pray, there's a chant familiar to those of us who come to Penn State games. And I'd like to ask you to join me in a modified version of it slightly. Our students, beautiful students. Our students behind you will start us and shout, "We are!" And the rest of the crowd will finish with, "MAGA!" Let's let President Trump hear us loud and clear. We are!
MAGA! MAGA! MAGA!
Shall we pray? Heavenly Father, you have birthed for us a truly great nation. You protected our first president from the bullets of enemies. You led him to great victory against overwhelming odds because he was a man of prayer and faith in you. You've likewise spared our 45th president from repeated attempts on his life, backfired the schemes of those who pervert justice and wage lawfare. You heard the cries of patriots then, and you will hear them today.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Penn State student Danny Konzelman to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Before we say the Pledge of Allegiance, I want us to reflect on its words, and I urge you to ask your friends and your family these questions over the next following 10 days. Which ticket is the ticket that will defend the Republic at all costs? Which ticket is the ticket that proudly and shamelessly declares Christ is King? Which ticket is the ticket that has bridged the gap between disaffected Democrats and the most conservative flanks of the Republican Party? And which ticket is the ticket that will defend justice and liberty for all Americans, regardless of race, ethnic background, religious belief, political affiliation, or ideological disposition? Everyone in this room knows the answer to that question, and I urge you to share this mentality that we must share the answers to those questions with the people around us, because we do not want to wake up on November 6th and wish that we had done more to elect Donald J. Trump to the office of the United States presidency.
So following that, there was another student speaker who I did not record, but basically gave the same song and dance about God is good, God is with us throughout the election, all that stuff. Then a man named Tony Bobolinsky spoke, who claimed to know a lot about the Biden crime family. I recorded a little bit of him, but not his whole speech. But then Marjorie Taylor Greene got up and gave a speech, and I recorded the entire thing. So again, I'm just gonna include the highlights here. I'm not gonna include her entire 18-minute speech. I'm just gonna include the best moments. And in the words of my grandfather, she's a bigger idiot than Trump. So let's go ahead and take a look.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Hi, everyone. Jesus is Lord, Christ is King. You're not at the wrong rally if you believe that. We will not kick you out if you believe in God. As a matter of fact, you're in the right place. But let's talk about the past 16 years, 12 of those years. Let's do a little history lesson, everyone. The biggest sin Donald Trump ever committed was beating Hillary Clinton. You see, she was never supposed to lose. As a matter of fact, she was set up to win. She was so set up to win, they cheated the election from Bernie Sanders. Did you know that? Look it up. Bernie Sanders was a populist. He was so popular during that Democrat primary, the actual Democrat machine was terrified. The DCCC was broke. They were bankrupt. They were down by millions and millions of dollars, and Hillary Clinton's campaign came in and loaned the DCCC millions of dollars and propped them up. Bernie Sanders never had a chance. You see, Democrats have been stealing elections for a long, long time. Long time. And you want to know something? They care about elections too, because when they think their elections are stolen, they say so. And that's what Hillary Clinton said in 2016. But then President Trump became president in 2017. And guess what happened? On his inauguration day, Democrats came out to the streets and they nearly burned down Washington, D.C. If you're a college student in this room, you might not even know that. Look it up. Those pictures are absolutely terrifying. They set Washington, D.C. on fire. Wait a minute. Isn't that called an insurrection or something like that?
Yeah.
Oh yes, the party that's defending democracy. They hated Donald Trump so much they were ready to burn down our Capitol for it. And then it carried on. Throughout his presidency, we saw Antifa. We saw them occupy in Portland, Oregon. We saw them take over, attack federal courthouses, attack police officers. And then the summer of 2020, night after night, every single night, the entire summer, Democrat activists, Antifa, and violent BLM rioters nearly burned down communities all across America. Remember? And let's talk about COVID. If you're a college student, your social life got completely destroyed. You lost your part-time job. Your school was shut down. And you lost your First Amendment right, free speech, if you complained about it on social media. That's right. And that happened under Democrat control. They shut down our country. Yes, it is communist. It was tyranny. And if you're a young person today, you lived through that. And Republicans, we would have never done that to you. Donald Trump would not have done that to you. And when it came to the COVID vaccine, many of you were forced to take it. But President Trump and Republicans, we believe in freedom. We believe in your right. We believe in your right to say no to vaccines. And you should always have that right. And we believe in your right to say no to wearing a mask. As a matter of fact, when I refused to wear a mask on the House floor, I was fined by Nancy Pelosi over $100,000. But I did it anyway. You see, if you're a young person in here today, you have to understand what we are voting for. Under President Trump, he ended the foreign wars. We had world peace. That was something truly incredible. But what we've had for the past 4 years is we are watching every single month we get closer and closer to World War III. And that's something that none of us want. Under President Trump, over the last 4 years, Kamala Harris has let in over 12 million illegal aliens. It's actually higher than that. There are over 2 million gotaways that were never stopped by Border Patrol, never stopped by ICE, and no one knows who they are, where they are, and what they're going to do in this country. That is America today under Kamala Harris. We have people that have been killed. Did you know on average an American citizen is killed almost every single day from an illegal alien crime? These people shouldn't even be here. And the fentanyl deaths, 300 a day. You think about that. That's like a jetliner falling from the sky and every single person dying on board that plane. And that shouldn't be happening. Look at our economy. Young people today, for the first time in their lives, have no hope for the future. They're not even sure if they'll ever be able to buy a home. You have no idea if you'll be able to afford groceries or rent. That should never happen. Young people should be the most hopeful among us. We have food problems today. Who wants healthy food in this room? Of course you do. We want healthy food. We want farmers to be able to survive in America, and farmers are going out of business. And vaccines, you know, we're really concerned about what vaccines may be doing to children. And it's not a crime to say that. We should be saying this. If you vote for Donald Trump, you will be going against the machine. You will be fighting against the system. You'll be doing what young people used to be so brave to do. But for some reason, young people have been brainwashed. Absolutely brainwashed. But young people today, you can actually save our future because it's your votes that can swing this election. And you'll be voting for a future that every single one of us want to have. A future of secure borders, where we actually protect all 50 states and stop the invasion into America. You can vote for a future where our tax system is fair for Americans. No tax on tips, no tax on overtimes, no tax on Social Security benefits for seniors. You can vote for a future where we destroy the Green New Deal. It's a scam. And you can vote for a future where we end the foreign wars and your hard-earned money stops being sent overseas to murder people you've never met, to fight wars that we have no part of. And we keep your hard-earned money right here at home. Because every single one of us know the federal government and Congress has spent far too much of your money, over $35 trillion in debt. How pathetic is that? It's pathetic. I work with Democrats every single day in Washington. I know for a fact what they say. I know exactly what their plans are. I know what they want to do to this country. And I'm fighting as hard as possible. President Trump has been fighting for years. And I can tell you right now, if you sit it out, if you refuse to vote, if you don't take the time to do it, and you don't have those hard conversations, we can't do our jobs. And we can't pass the critical bills that we have to pass. And we can't make this country great again. And that's all we're trying to do. President Trump has been attacked for years. President Trump has been lied about. You know how they talk about his rhetoric? Let's talk about rhetoric. Kamala Harris is calling him Hitler. Democrats and people in the media have been calling him a Nazi and Hitler and a threat to our democracy. Not only have they slandered and lied about him, they have indicted him, they arrested him, they impeached him twice, they have tried to bankrupt him, destroy his company, destroy his family. They have locked up his supporters. They locked up election protesters while they let BLM violent rioters go free. Think about that. That's right. They say that he will weaponize the government against the American people. The only regime that has weaponized the government has been the Biden-Kamala Harris regime that is in power right now. You talk about a true threat to democracy, those are the people in the White House. It's not Donald Trump. Donald Trump is a successful businessman. He's a father, a grandfather, and he's a friend to many. He's a great American that has spent his entire life helping people, and there are far too many stories for me to even tell you today of all the people he has helped. He is genuinely one of the nicest people I know, and I talk to him very often. Donald Trump doesn't have to do this. He doesn't have to, but he is doing it because he loves this country, and he sincerely cares about every single one of you.
So, there's that. After she spoke, Congressman John Joyce and G.T. Thompson, who are both Penn State alum, got up to give speeches. I didn't film either of them, but they basically talked about the importance of voting and repeating a lot of Marjorie Taylor Greene's points. And Thompson kept pronouncing Kamala as Camellia, so there's that as well. That takes us to 3:30 p.m., meaning all those guest speakers ate up about an hour of time. So with Trump near, we were left to wait more, so here's a video of everyone doing the wave, which was kinda cool, I guess. Then there was this guy who I think had a camera bag or something snuck in somehow, so cops searched him, which was pretty entertaining. Another really exciting thing was after Trump arrived at the BJC, we saw these fully armed and ready SWAT guys peeking out, which was pretty cool. And this was around 5:30, half an hour after Trump was scheduled to speak. Now, it's almost Trump time. And before I show any of the Trump footage, let me be clear. Once again, I am a liberal making a video about going to a Trump rally. There will be biases. In an attempt to remedy that, I posted the full, uncut 80-minute Trump speech in the description below, if you want to watch that rather than my hand-selected highlights. When determining what to pick for my highlights, I tried to nail down overarching points rather than specific details about certain incidents or percentages. Whenever he would go off talking about the specifics of something, I would try my best to cut it out. I know there's a lot of footage here in the final video, but there's a lot to listen to, and I can't really go through it with a fine-tooth comb because, again, I'm trying to get this video out before Election Day. But I apologize in advance for cutting out certain things, for putting a liberal spin on it if it comes off that way. But pay attention to the crowd size throughout, because I pan over quite a bit. And I will be putting up text on screen to show how far into the rally we are after certain cuts. So, yeah, that's it. Editing Ian out, and enjoy, I guess.
Please welcome to the stage the senior advisor to the Trump campaign, Stephen Miller.
send Donald J. Trump back to the White House, and we are going to have a secure border, we are going to have a safe country, we are going to have a strong economy, and we are going to have a nation that puts American citizens first, last, and always. We are going to end the corruption, we are going to end the outsourcing, we're going to take down the globalists, and we are going to have a man, a leader, a warrior in the White House who cares about you, who cares about your husbands, your wives, your children, who doesn't put illegal aliens first, but who puts you first, your families first, your state first, your children first, because this country belongs to Americans and only Americans. Over the last 8 years, think about what this man has endured for you. The hoaxes, the lies, the smears, the radical left campaign of hatred, the lawfare, the witch hunts, the hoaxes. They came after his business. They came after his family. They came after his freedom. And they even came after his life with not one, but 2 assassination attempts. Now I ask you, did he back down? Did he bend? Did he yield? Did he cower? Did he surrender? Did he give them 1 inch? Or did he stand up, strong, tall, fierce, and proud, and raise his fist into the air and shout, fight, fight, fight? Pennsylvania, Donald J. Trump is your warrior. Donald J. Trump is your fighter. Donald J. Trump is your champion. But now we are counting on you. We are depending on you to deliver that victory. So can you commit to doing the work, to committing yourself over these next 10 days to delivering the ballots that we need so you can wake up on January 20th. You can look at the Oval Office, look at the West Wing, look at the White House, and say, there is my president, Donald J. Trump. Thank you. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the next president of the United States, President Donald J. Trump.
Forget the man who died the day
a gathering, isn't it? This is it. We're getting to the end. We're leading in all the polls, so that's a good thing. We better keep it going like your wrestling team. We better keep it going. A very big hello to Pennsylvania. Thank you very much. This is some little gathering we have. We really give a very special hello to Penn State. We love Penn State. And I'm thrilled to be here in the home of the Nittany Lions with thousands of proud, hardworking American patriots who very special. And I think I'd like to begin by asking a very simple question. Are you better off now than you were 4 years ago? So I'm here today with a message of hope for all Americans. If you want to go out and win an election, you want to win an election? Because we're leading, but we got to close it out, right? We got to close it out. I will promise you we're going to end inflation very quickly. We're going to get those prices down too. And I'll stop the invasion of criminals pouring into our country. They're criminals and they're pouring in like we've never seen. We're going to stop it. We're going to get them the hell out of here. And I will bring back the American dream, because you want the American dream, and we're going to bring it back. So this is all you really need to know. Kamala broke it, and I will fix it. We're going to fix it. With your support, on November 5th, America will be bigger, better, bolder, richer, safer, and stronger than ever before. We're going to do it fast. This election is a choice between whether we will have 4 more years of gross incompetence and failure. It's disgusting what they're doing. Or whether we'll begin the 4 greatest years in the history of our country. I'm asking you to be excited about the future. You want to be excited about the future. People aren't excited about this country very much anymore with the people we have in there. We have the worst president in the history of our country. We have the worst vice president, a grossly incompetent person in the history of our country. I'm asking you to dream big again. You're going to dream big just like your wrestling team dreams big. It's easy to tell. I can pick every one of them. Jim Jordan told me about you guys. You know, Jim Jordan, he told me about, look at the muscles all over the place. You better get ready, because they're going to bring you up here in a little while. So you guys better get ready. Maybe I'll wrestle one of them. That would be an upset. No, I'm not going to play that game. Our country really has gone bad. It's gone bad. It's so sad. When you look at the things we're doing that we even have to say, like men playing in women's sports, I don't think so. No, but you think of it, so many things, all the transgender operations, all the coming into our country, they're letting criminals into our country by the millions. Pennsylvania, you have to stand up. And you have to tell Kamala Harris that I can't even believe I'm saying the name Kamala. Nobody ever heard of her. I'm running against somebody. And you know, you can't use the name Harris if I say Harris. They say, who the hell is Harris? Did you see when she got stuck 2 weeks ago on the teleprompter? She couldn't. It was 32 days. Now there's 9 days left, but it was 32 days. She's reading and the teleprompter broke. And that happens a lot. If you're going to be a politician, you better be able to get through it without a teleprompter, but you can't. And the sucker snapped back, damn it. It snapped back. And she was reading, right? She goes, and 32 days. 32 days. 32 days. 30. I said, oh, this is bad. And then boom, it snapped back. Too bad. But Pennsylvania, you have to stand up and you have to tell Kamala that you've had enough. You're not going to take it anymore. You're the worst vice president. You destroyed San Francisco. You are horrible to the great state of California. You're just horrible. Kamala, you're fired. Get out of here. We've had enough of this crap. We're setting all-time records right now in the voting. I don't know if you heard that, you know, the fake news. Look at all of the fake news. That's a lot of fake. And I think we're going to keep it going, and we're going to have a real landslide type election, and that's what we have to have. But everybody has to go out and vote. Just out of curiosity, who's already voted? Okay, that's good, because with that number, and then we're about to go and do the real thing, right? Who is going to vote? That's good. Well, thanks for the early voters, but the Republicans tend to vote late. They like Tuesdays, and that's fine. Just get out and vote. Everybody promise you're going to vote, right? Promise? If you're a student here at Penn State, and it really is, it's a great place. I've known it for a long time. I know so many people that have graduated and done so well here. You can vote in person. You can vote by mail. Then get your friends, call your parents, call your grandparents, your cousins, call anybody. A woman named Jane, I know her very well, she said to her husband, he's a big slob of a guy, big fat slob. And she said to him, Harold, get the hell out of that sofa, get out right now, Harold. We're getting out, we're gonna vote for the president, but I'm watching the game. Get your ass out of this sofa. And he got up and he voted, and he feels good about himself. And he sat back down and he watched the game. But get everyone you know to swamp the vote. We want to swamp them. We want to make it too big to rig, because, you know, bad things happen with these guys. We're going to make it too big. The one thing you do, you make it too big, they can't do a thing. So let's get out. Everybody has to get out. And we want to have a big margin. With your help, 10 days from now, we're going to win Pennsylvania. We're going to defeat Kamala Harris. And we're going to make America great again. And I'm looking at this crowd, it's such a young crowd, and a lot of young people here. It's, that's what people haven't really got. We have a lot of, frankly, we have a lot of everything, and it's a great honor to be representing you. We've been on this journey for a long time together. We've all had a lot of victories. We've had the best rallies ever. There's never been, outside you have as many people as they're standing out there. If anybody would like to give up their seat or their location, I'm sure that you have it filled very quickly. If you'd like to do that, I don't think too many people are going to do that. Two things we're going to, first hour, we can do many things in the first, but first, we're going to drill, baby, drill. And we're going to close our borders to criminals and drug dealers and all of these people coming in from mental institutions and asylums. We're going to have those borders closed. They asked me, what would you do? I listed about 6 things. They asked her, what would you do different? Did you see her answer? I don't know. Right side, wrong side, right path, right? Wrong path. They're like at 90% wrong path, and she doesn't know. I think I'd leave everything the same. That's the end of that election. When she said that, I said, that's got to be the greatest ad ever, right? Marjorie, look at Marjorie telling me, very shy person. She's a very shy, we have great congressmen. She's a very shy person, John, right? And John, you love these guys back here, right? Great John Joyce. For all the young people here at Penn State and across America who may be voting for the first time, I want you to know that I am in this fight for you. I didn't need this. I had a nice life. I'll tell you what, I've been investigated more than the great Alphonse Capone. Did you ever hear that? You think this has been fun, but you know, we had 4 of the greatest years. We had the greatest economy in the history of our country. Think of this, we had the strongest border. Oh, let's bring that, my favorite chart of all time. Can you do it? Yes. Without that chart, I wouldn't be here. I turned around and said, bring down the chart. I turned it down for you. I wouldn't be here, I guess, probably. But see the arrow on the bottom? That's the lowest in history. This was done by the Border Patrol. And that was my last day in office. And then these incompetent people took over. What they've done to our country, it's unbelievable. Look at what happened. It's all illegal immigration, criminals pouring into our country at levels that we've never seen before, drugs pouring into our country 10 times more than we had seen ever. The country is just, it's in free fall. We're a nation in decline, and we're going to turn it around. We're going to turn it around fast. But even beyond that, even if it didn't show those great numbers, I love that chart. I sleep with it every night. I hold it. Okay, we love you, darling. The single lowest time, and then they came in, and it just, all they had to do was leave it. We had remain in Mexico. How about that? You think that was easy to get? And we paid nothing. All I did is say, if you don't let us have it, we're going to tariff every product you have at 25%. They said, we'd love for you to have very bad people remain in Mexico, you know, gang members. This was in Tijuana. That was a dangerous place. That was a dangerous place. Hundreds of thousands of people say, this little town, Tijuana, was probably the fastest growing town in the world because of me. Remain in Mexico. And we had a great system, and we were doing it, and everything was good. We had a terrible result. We did better in 2020 than we did in 2016. Millions of more votes, but it was COVID, and a lot of bad things happened, a lot of bad things. And so I said, do I go to the beach or stay at one of my very beautiful, I had the greatest resorts in the world. I could have been extremely happy. I could have had those beautiful waves smack me in the face. I could have had the beautiful suntan, this white skin could have been tan and beautiful. Kamala Harris is an incompetent person who, in all fairness, got no votes. Sleepy Joe Biden had 14 million votes, and he went to sleep. We had a debate. He didn't do well in the debate, it's all right. And he went down, and they went to him and they said, you're out. They took over the presidency of the United States. It was, I don't even use the word coup, it was a coup, but basically they took over the presidency. They told him to get the hell out. Crazy Nancy Pelosi, the group, Schumer, the whole group. And then they talk about democracy, oh, democracy. No, she got no votes. He got 14 million. All of a sudden I'm running against her. But this is sort of like, I have a great friend, Dana White, UFC, probably some of these guys. This is like they have a fight, and the fight is not doing well. And they say, get him out of there, let's replace him with another fighter. I gotta take 2 people, but the second one, I think it is, in her own way, might be easier than the first. I'll let you know on November 5th. We have to get this thing, we have to get it made. Kamala will destroy your inheritance, but much more importantly, she's going to destroy your country. If you vote for me, I will ensure that you begin your careers, young people, in a roaring economy in a time of unprecedented peace and prosperity. You know, I had no wars. Crooked Hillary Clinton said, look at him, he's going to take us into wars. I said, no. She said, but look at that personality. He's going to take us into wars. I said, no, my personality is going to keep us out of wars. That's what we did. We had no wars. First president other than ISIS, which we defeated in record time and knocked the hell out of them. And we have a great military. Remember, there's not these stupid people that you watch on television like Milley and Mattis and the real people, the real generals. We knocked out ISIS in They said it would take 5 years. We did it in about 5 weeks. And I didn't lose one soldier in 18 months. I spoke to the head of the Taliban, Abdul. I said, Abdul, don't do it. And I can't go exactly because it's not nice. He's still there. Do you know Abdul's still there? But I said, don't do it, Abdul, don't do it. He said, but why do you send me a picture of my home? Anyway, what happened with Abdul, and we were fine. 18 months we went without a soldier being killed or even shot at. And then when these guys, we had a great election, but it was, by the way, I got the most votes in the history of our country for a sitting president. Can you imagine? But they say he got a few more votes, sitting in his basement, not talking, and it's a disgrace. But you know what? This will be, we're going to pull this off. It'll be the greatest victory in the history of our country for all of us, not for me, for all of us. And starting in day one of my new administration, I will end Kamala Harris's war in Pennsylvania energy, and we will frack. That's a big part of Pennsylvania. You know, we had a very short time with her. She had a little honeymoon period because nobody knew anything about her. When they found out about her, she went down the tubes. Yesterday she had Beyonce because she can't draw a crowd. See this crowd? This crowd is packed. They could sell out. You guys see that? We would have Beyonce who couldn't fill the arena last night. But the people went there because they thought they were going to hear Beyonce sing, right? Beyonce got out and said, hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to endorse her. What's her name? What's her name? What is her name again? I'm going to endorse her. They just don't get it. So what happened is the crowd came because they thought she was going to sing. Then she turned around, she left, and Kamala started speaking, and it was a disaster. They all left, everybody left. We don't need anybody because we are here. Let me be nice. We're here for policy reasons. Policy. We're here for common sense. So the truth is, we're really the party of common sense. What do you think right now? If Kamala gets 4 more years, she'll obliterate our economy, kill millions of jobs, destroy your family finances, and many people will die because they're going to be coming across the border at levels that are 5 times greater than even now. You'll have 200 million people coming in, not 21 million. 21 million people came in 3.5 years. There's never been a border in history with a number like that, but you'll have 200 million. You won't even have a country anymore. Kamala's inflation nightmare has already cost the typical family over $30,000 in higher prices, and now she wants to raise the typical family's taxes by $3,000 a year. Congratulations. Does anybody, this is the only person I've ever seen campaign on I will raise your taxes. All my life I watched politicians. We will cut your taxes. She said, we'll raise your taxes. There's something wrong with this whole deal, I tell you. This country's gone crazy. So first of all, the sound up there is lousy. So here's what happens. I tell my people immediately, don't pay the bill for the guy that did that, okay? And then they get a story, Trump doesn't want to pay the bill. No, you know, when people do a lousy job, they did a lousy job with the sound. But the good news is you understand it. They want to raise your taxes, and that's not acceptable. One of the deadliest and most vicious migrant gangs that Kamala has imported into our country is the savage Venezuelan prison gang called Tren de Aragua. These are young thugs that's taking over apartment complexes and unleashing a violent terrorist spree all over America. Towns all over America are petrified that they're going to be coming in, but they're in more than just Aurora in Colorado, and the governor's petrified of them. He doesn't know what to do. And the United States has now become essentially an occupied country. We're an occupied country. talking about tens of thousands of people like this. But it will soon be an occupied country no longer. November 5th, 2024 will be Liberation Day in America. It's going to be liberation. Under Kamala Harris, 13,099, this was Border Patrol numbers, illegal alien convicted murders. These are convicted murders in prisons all over the world, are on the loose in the United States. We've become a dumping ground for nations all over the world. They're dumping people into our country that they don't want because they're too dangerous and they're too expensive to take care of. It's very expensive having them in jail for 50 years. And they bring them to us. I said something yesterday, I thought it was terrible, and then I realized it was actually good. First time I ever said it. We've become like a garbage can for the rest of the world. They're throwing all their garbage into our country. And we're not taking it, and they know we're not taking it. They don't want me to win this election, that I can tell you. Because we live with these people, and we'll get killed by these people. These are dangerous people. These are really dangerous people. There's nothing you're going to do about it to make them less dangerous. Immediately upon taking the oath of office, I will launch the largest deportation program in American history. America that's been invaded and conquered. They've been conquered. These towns have been conquered. And we will put these vicious and bloodthirsty criminals in jail, or we'll kick them the hell out of our country in fast. And to expedite removals of Trinidad, Aragua, and other savage groups and gangs like MS-13, one of the most violent gangs in the world. In Long Island, for whatever reason, they go to Long Island. 2 young girls, 16 years old, were walking to school, and they were captured by these animals, and they don't use guns because they're not painful enough. They use knives, and they cut the girls up into little pieces, killing them both. And they paid a price, but you know what? They should have never been in our country. And if they come back into our country, it's an automatic 10 years in jail with no possibility of parole, 0 possibility. I'm hereby calling for the death penalty for any migrant that kills an American citizen or any law enforcement officer. I will outlaw sanctuary cities, and I will ban all welfare and federal benefits for illegals, and then they won't come. Is so incompetent and so unfit that she's obviously disqualified from being president of the United States. Anybody that would have put up with this, she never even called. You know, the Border Patrol, they endorsed me last week, and in the endorsement is full-throated, and they've endorsed me every year. I mean, they're great, because we had some great 4 years. We had it done. All they had to do is leave what we had, but they didn't want to do that. But the Border Patrol endorsed me, and endorsing me, they said she is the worst there has ever been. She's not going to be allowed to destroy our country like she destroyed San Francisco and like she destroyed California. And you see what's happening there. Everybody does, and everyone knows it, but no one respects her. No one trusts her. No one takes her seriously, from humiliating our country in Afghanistan with Crooked Joe, to the war in Ukraine, to the nightmare on our border, to our inflation catastrophe, to our egregious hurricane response, which was worse maybe than even Katrina. Kamala Harris is a train wreck who has destroyed everything in her path. To make her president would be to gamble with the lives of millions of people. She would get us into a World War III guaranteed, because she is too grossly incompetent to do the job. She's not going to be able to deal with President Xi or Putin or Kim Jong-un or anybody. And then all of your sons and daughters will end up getting drafted to go fight for a war in a country that you've never heard of. Our enemies are laughing at her. They're laughing at us. But if we win, our enemies won't be laughing anymore. I'll tell you, they're not going to be laughing. Viktor Orban, who is the head of Hungary, a very powerful man, very strong man. They said, you bring back Trump, you're not going to have any more problems. When he was president, we didn't have any problems. Now, I wouldn't use this term, but he did. He said, China feared him, they were afraid of him. Russia feared him, they were afraid of him. Look what I did to Russia. I ended Nord Stream 2, nobody ever heard of Nord Stream 2. Nord Stream 2 was a pipeline that covered all of Europe. I said, you mean we're protecting you through NATO and you're giving them billions of dollars a month for their energy? That's no good. I ended it, boom. When Biden came in, he approved it. And then they say, oh, Trump was very friendly with Putin. No, Putin would say, this is not a great friendship. But I had a relationship, and they're a nuclear country, so are we. And I'm going to get that war settled because millions of people are being killed. Far more people are being killed in that war than you think. October 7th would have never happened with Israel. Think of it, all those people would be alive. October 7th, it was like carnage. If we win, America will be feared and respected again. But we're not just running against Kamala. She means nothing, actually. She's purely a vessel. Has to be, right? You saw her on the town hall the other night with Allison Cooper. Did you see? This is Allison Cooper of CNN. No, Allison interviewed her. She couldn't answer a question. She was terrible. We can't have that running our country. She can't put two sentences together, just like we were not running against crooked Joe Biden. We weren't running against Biden. We're running against something far bigger and more powerful than them. They took his job away. They walked into his office and they just said, you're not going to be president anymore. He went through the system. And I guess I used their term. They were a threat to democracy, right? They took his president. They said, you're out. How about that? Crazy Nancy and a few people, they just said, you're out. But it's a big machine, which is a massive, vicious, crooked, radical left group of people that runs today's Democrat Party. They're vicious, they're smart, they're way left, they're communists, probably. Remember I said we will never be a socialist country, right? Remember? Because I like to say I was right about everything. I was right. We skipped socialism. We went down to communism. They want every building in Manhattan to not have windows anymore because they think it's environmentally friendly. It'd be very interesting. How do you sell an apartment? Let's see. I want to buy a beautiful apartment. It's got no windows, but it's environmentally friendly. These are sick people. But we're not going to let this bullshit happen any longer. We're going to have the biggest victory in the history of our country on November 5th, and we are going to make America great again, and we're going to do it fast. I really respect winners. So do you. We like to have a couple of them leading our country, wouldn't that be nice? But we like to have winners, and we have with us a team that won like 11 out of the last 13 national championships, and they're recurring national champions. We are the USA national champions in wrestling, and I would like to ask them, I don't know if this platform can hold it because that's a lot of muscle. You know, muscle is much heavier than fat, they tell me, fellas, is that right? But I'd love to have the team come up here and we can just say hello to these guys. It's a lot of muscle. That's great, fellas. Look at these guys. Look at this.
Penn State!
He's a great guy. Would somebody like to come up?
So I'm a little shorter than Mr. President here, but it's truly an honor to be here. Thank you for recognizing us. And Pennsylvania is a super important state. We need to win this election, and let's make America great again. Go vote.
I was just thinking maybe they could take over the game. They could knock the hell out of those guys. They're the only guys in the room that could do that, I can tell you. What a great job, fellas. What an achievement that is, to be national champion. But here are the facts on Kamala. Hard to believe we have to go from them to this one here, Kamala. But she's a radical left Marxist, rated even worse than crooked Bernie Sanders or Pocahontas, you know, Pocahontas. She destroyed our economy. She was an original creator of the defund the police movement, which means that anybody who wants to defund the police, even for a day, should never be worthy of being president of the United States because the concept. Kamala Harris vowed to abolish ICE. ICE are very tough people, even they would respect ICE, but they're tough and they get the bad ones out. They took out thousands of MS-13 gang members. They're very tough cookies, but they love our country. She pledged to confiscate your guns. She wants to confiscate your guns. Would anybody like to willingly give up their gun to Kamala? She'll do it because that's her for her whole life. Now, she just changed that a little while ago because it wasn't working too well with her election. She's a radical left person. Look, she's a radical left lunatic. And that's what you have. And now you know her. She went through the honeymoon period, and now you know she changed 15 different policies on her. Like transgender. Oh no, I'm so not. No, her whole life she wanted that. She thinks operations are wonderful. To transition a man to a woman is a wonderful thing. And without parental consent yet, this is a wonderful thing. Now, if you believe that even for a day, you don't want to have her because it's in there somewhere deep inside, right? She endorsed a total ban on handgun ownership. She even called for free sex changes for illegal aliens that are held in detention at taxpayer expense. And as you know, did you see the little skit that turned out to be a monster when I went to McDonald's a few days ago? I actually got a call from Sundar, who's great, he's a great guy, very smart, the head of Google. And he said, sir, I just want to tell you, what you did with McDonald's was one of the single biggest events we've ever had at Google. He said, I don't know how the hell that happened, but it went crazy. But you know, I did it. It was just a little throwaway, and I just wanted to highlight. I didn't know it was going to blow up like that, but you never know what's going to happen in life, do you? You never know. You never really know. And by the way, watch Joe Rogan if you want. He did live in
Yeah!
But I did that to highlight the fact that a big part of her resume was that she worked so hard at McDonald's. She stood over the French fries. That's what I was doing, making French fries. I'll tell you, those things are damn good when you get them before they get cold. And I stood over the French fries because I wanted. So I was there for about 15 minutes, which meant I was there for 15 minutes longer than her because she never worked at McDonald's. And on top of all of this, she wants to make our military woke. I don't think so. Just think about it.
You little scumbag! I got your name! I got your head! You will not laugh! You will not cry! You will learn by the numbers! Happy Pride! Happy Pride Month, and actually, let's declare it a summer of pride. So you're a girl! I just see your war face! Sir, you got a war face? Ah! That's a war face! Now let me see your war face! Ah!
guys are woke. A couple of the stupid people we have at the top, guys like General Milley and Mattis, and these guys are lightweights, but we have the real deal. We defeated ISIS, knocked out the ISIS caliphate in its totality. The fact that we were even thinking about everybody was peaceful with us because they know how good our military is. You could put them in a woke cage for 2 years and they'd come out fighting. We're not woke and they never would be woke. Just a few people on the top, and they don't really matter much anymore. In conclusion, with your vote this November, we're going to fire Kamala, and we are going to with your support, we will cut your taxes, end inflation, slash your prices, raise your wages, and bring thousands of factories back to America and back to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. We will build America, we will buy American, and we will hire American. I will end the war in Ukraine very rapidly. Would have never started if I were president. Should have never started. A horrible war. And I will stop the chaos in the Middle East, and I will prevent World War III from happening. We're very close to World War III. We will crush violent crime and give our police the support, protection, resources, and respect that they so dearly deserve. They deserve this. They have to have that respect. We have to give them back the honor and the respect that they deserve. We will strengthen and modernize our military. I rebuilt the military, but we're going to now do upgrades. We will build a missile defense shield above our country, all over our country. We will rebuild our cities, including our capital in Washington, D.C., making them safe, clean, and beautiful again. We will teach our children to love our country, to honor our history, and to always respect our great American flag. And I'm going to put in legislation immediately upon getting to Washington that makes it an absolute penalty to burn our American flag 1 year. If you want to burn our American flag, you go to prison for 1 year. And I looked at what happened 2 months ago in Washington, D.C. with the horrible scene. They were burning flags all over the place and spraying spray paint on beautiful limestone, but that's my business, you know, real estate. I look, limestone sucks in the paint. You'll see that limestone, you'll see that paint 100 years from now. They were spray painting the beautiful lions at the main entrance to a magnificent building. No, but you burn our flags 1 year in prison. They say it's unconstitutional, but I can't believe it. We will get critical race theory and transgender insanity the hell out of our schools and and we will keep men out of women's sports. Yes. I will defend religious liberty. I will restore free speech, and I will defend the right to keep and bear arms. That's your second. Yes. After years of building up foreign nations, defending foreign borders, and protecting foreign lands, we are finally going to build up our country, defend our borders, and protect our citizens, maybe for a change. And we will stop illegal immigration once and for all. It will be ended. You can come into our country, but you have to come in legally. We will not be invaded. We will not be occupied. We will not be overrun. We will not be conquered. We will be a free and proud nation once again. Everyone will prosper. Every family will thrive. And every day will be filled with opportunity and hope and loaded up with the American dream. But for that to happen, we must defeat Kamala Harris and stop her radical left agenda with a landslide that is too big to rig. Early voting is underway. Get everyone you know out there, all those people that raised their hands, please get out and vote. You gotta vote. And all the people that didn't have to raise their hand, we really appreciate it. We really do, because we're going to have the biggest victory maybe in the history of our country. This could be the biggest. After all we've been through together, we stand on the verge of the 4 greatest years in the history of America. With your help, from now until Election Day, it's 9 days, we will restore America's promise. We will put America first, and we will take back the nation that we love. You know, we've been on this journey now for 9 years together. We've had the greatest rallies in the history of our country. It's the greatest movement in the history of our country. And it's now coming to an end, as we know, and it's coming to an end. In one way it's sad, and another way it's beautiful. I think it's going to come to a very successful end, and then a new period begins, and that's the next 4 years where we're going to make our country so incredible, and we're going to do it so fast. But there'll never be rallies like this. There'll never be, in 4 years, there'll be somebody come in and they'll call for a rally and they'll have 200 or 300 people. There's never been anything like this, not in history. And it's a great tribute to you and the love that you have for this country, and I will never forget it. I will never forget it. But now we have to finish it off. We have to finish it off with a big victory on November 5th. The biggest, I believe it'll be the biggest political event in the history of our country. That's how big it's going to be. Remember, we will be a nation in decline no longer from the day that happens. But we are one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. We will never give in, we will never give up, we will never ever back down, and we will never surrender. Together, we will fight, 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 and win, win, win. November 5th will be the most important day in the history of our country, and together we will make America powerful again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America healthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you, Pennsylvania. God bless you all. Good luck, fellas. Have a good life. Great people. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Guys, it is officially over, and the time is just a little bit after 7. Dude, what a waste of time, like, honestly. But yeah, it was completely packed in there, which was scary to say the least. But maybe I'll finish this up whenever I'm at home or something, because there's a lot of wind going on right now, and I look not great. Oh yeah, and here's a video of just some of all the trash that they left behind. Real classy there. All right, my friends, well, this is an awful camera angle, but it's gonna have to work for right now, because I just got in my car, and it's probably gonna take me a little while to get out of here just because of all the traffic, everyone's leaving at the same time, all that stuff. So, again, sorry for the camera angle. It's gonna be shitty, but it'll be just like the rest of this video, just shitty, because I don't yeah, so first thing that I noticed, Trump didn't really lean into this, but the other guest speakers did before he showed up. The whole God is good, Christ is king. That's alarming to say the least, because America is not a theocracy. So that's the one thing. And then you guys are gonna meme on this and call bullshit, but he didn't show up until 5:40. Just just as a little reminder there. Yeah, I don't know. I apologize. I'm scatterbrained from the whole thing because, again, it was just the same talking points over and over. It was scary to see. I don't know. This is probably the deal for any political rally, but just the hive mind mindset is a very scary thing to come to terms with, because all the people that were in there are going to go vote, and it's just scary, you know. I'm hoping for a blue wave. Yeah, I don't know. Either way, the election is going to be close, and it really shouldn't be that close, because one thing that everyone neglects to like really mention is that Trump is just, he's a convicted felon. Everything with Project 2025 is very alarming. There's so much evidence pointing towards him, like just being a rapist and all this other stuff, and not a person that really should be representing the country. But this is just my point of view. Didn't change my opinion at all. I honestly wish I wouldn't have won, because now I have this video that I need to edit, and I don't know how the hell I'm gonna edit it all together. Yeah, so if I could go back in time and not go to the Trump rally, I would. If anything, this is just a time capsule saying, hey, I was there. But beyond that, I really don't have anything else to say. Please go out and vote. I know that this video more than likely did not change any opinions. It didn't change my opinion. It didn't really do anything in the long run. If you have sat through this video, I'm sorry. The MAGA cult is very, very, very odd. Any political worship is a little strange, but people are right that a lot of folks are leaving rallies early, and I don't know why, but I panned many times throughout the entirety of Trump standing up there and speaking, and yeah, there were a lot of empty seats, and I don't know why. Also, people bringing their kids in is very, very, very weird. Yeah, and all the women there that are just okay with abortion, just be like, abortion is healthcare, and if you don't think so, you're just wanting to take control of women's bodies. But I don't know. Enough political talk from me. I'm sorry about this video. Genuinely, I apologize. I'm gonna go ahead, go home, at least as soon as this traffic as soon as I get through this jam here. And yeah, I'm going to go home, probably take a shower, eat some food, and rethink my life, and go ahead and enact my plan for voting on the 5th. So yeah, thanks all for watching, and I will see you all in the next video, whenever that'll be. And yeah, sorry in advance for this video. Vote blue, or vote, just go out and vote, please. Okay, bye-bye.